75-inch. There's the Symptom Samsung television. Turns on, turns off immediately. Backlight comes on, then it goes off after a half second to a second. So we're going to, this is under extended warranty, we're going to put some items in and see the status after that. See the results. Alright, one other thing to note, most of these Samsungs do not have any screws on the back of it to attach the back cover. They just attach with clips along the edge. So Samsung has a couple tools, these plastic tools, one here, one I have in the set that you bring along the edge of the set. You run it along the edge. You're going to hear those clicks happen. Change the camera, there we go. And that's how good method to unattach the back panel from the TV without doing any damage. Alright, we'll get this off and go from there. Alright guys, I've got the back off. In this type of situation with this Symptom panel coming on and off, picture coming on, set turning on and off instantly, and repeating the cycle, it's either going to be the backlights in the panel or it's going to be power supply, which also powers your backlight, and or main board. They sent to me, this is again extended warranty, so they sent out a main board and power supply. Just already replaced the power supply. Now we're going to put the main board in, going to turn it on, and that's going to give us our answer as far as which one it is. So we'll get that tidied up and go from there. Alright, it's the moment of truth. This is where we find out if it's the boards or not. Okay. You have the remote for the TV?
Yes.
Yep. And off it goes, right? Yep. Alright, it appears to be the panel, but we're going to have to troubleshoot it a little further because we're not getting any image, just backlight and the TV off. So check a few other things, and then we'll have the final diagnosis. Alright guys, so we put the new power supply and main board in, and the set came on basically doing the same condition, on and then lighting up for a few more seconds and then off. The way we can tell if our backlights are good on these is we disconnect the cable from the power supply unit going over to the main board. So the power supply is sitting all by itself. Here it is plugged in. This is what's driving the backlight, this right here, this connector. And this is power supply and backlight drive. So we disconnect this cable and we plug the TV into power. Our backlights come on, as we can clearly see. That generally means the backlights are going to be good. However, the condition we have, let me unplug it. I'm going to plug the main board back in. Now we have two main boards, the one that was in the set and another main board. And both boards, condition is the set comes on, backlight comes on with it temporarily, and then it's going to shut down with no image on the screen either. Usually if you go on a few seconds you're going to see Samsung or HDMI 1, but all you see is a little bit of light, but no display, no graphics, nothing. What that usually means in these particular cases is you have a problem on your buffer boards, and which is part of your panel. So that's the condition of where we're at here, because the main board, we replaced that, didn't change anything, still coming on and off. These ribbon cables, attached to our buffer boards, so that's going to be more than likely the problem. Been a few times I've replaced the ribbon cables, and to no avail. That still has not changed the condition in my experiences. So that's the case here, and we'll chat about it a little more in a little bit. Alright guys, we're on our way back to the shop. Sorry about the rain, how much you're hearing of that, but it's a rainy day here in Ohio, early springish. With that said though, on that TV, that was a little bit different of a failure, and there'll be a couple other things I'll address with the extended warranty company. That panel, the backlight was good. Usually in a condition like that, what we find is the backlight is bad, but the way you check that is you disconnect the ribbon cable from the power supply. If you plug your power supply in, if your backlight comes on, it's good. Problem more than likely is the buffer boards that are attached to the LCD panel itself. So we put another new main board in, didn't change anything. The only other two things that people might say is, what about the ribbon cables and that go into the buffer board? I replaced those a few times, has not changed that condition. I'm not saying that may not be able to happen here and there, but I haven't seen that. Sorry, getting my picture back so I can see where I'm at. I haven't seen that as a failure. Doesn't mean it can't happen. So that's something I'll address with the warranty. They're more than likely going to just, I'll say, panel is pretty much defective. You can try these ribbon cables, they're not going to work. They have all checked out good, but that's, I'll address that. In that particular case though, I would say that what I've seen 90% of the time is, in one way or another, it's related to the panel, whether it's those buffer boards or the backlight. So that's just an unfortunate thing that's happened with that problem and scenario when it comes to TV failures. Is usually, more often than not, the news is not good. So I just thought I'd change it up. We don't do many TV repairs anymore, very little. That was for an extended warranty company. That's about the majority we do because of this scenario. Whether it's your panel is bad, you're certainly not going to fix it then due to cost. Or if you itemize the cost of those parts from Samsung and that, they would be very, very high, because manufacturers have an incentive and they'd rather see another new set in your house than have something repaired. Kind of no different than the appliance industry. That's going to conclude this video, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, everybody.